Ask Raven the wise one listens and answers with song. Stay until the end and sail along. And answer this before we begin. If before ye stood a mountain of gold, a treasure beyond what kings could hold, would ye walk away and leave it be, or claim one coin beside the sea? Tell me below what course ye choose, for before this tale is done, ye may discover the price of one. Ask Raven, I have watched kingdoms rise from the dust. I have watched mighty empires rust. I have watched greed consume the wise. I have watched desire blind many eyes. Yet of all curses I have known, none choose me more than one's own. For beyond the fog, where sea goes thrown, beyond the reefs and far from home, beyond the charts of mortal men, before great ships sail once again, the phantom tide comes through the night, ghost lanterns cast their emerald light. The flying Dutchman drifted in air, its curse grew new, needing fear. The sea devil moved without a sound, its black sails shadowed all around. And far behind with steam and clang, there came brave wolfies, iron fang. No cannon roared, no sailor sang, no bell was struck, no hammer rang. Even salty sat in quiet thought, a thing that happened seldom or not. For there before the captain's eyes lay the greatest treasure ever prized. Treasure Island, golden bright, glittering beneath the moonlit night. Mountains of coins stretched toward the sky, jewels shimmered like stars on high. Ancient crowds upon silver hills, enough wealth to satisfy endless wills. The pirate pigs could scarce believe, their knees grew weak, their mouths aggrieved. One pig fainted where he stood, the second joined him as pigs would. The third declared mighty pride, "Control yourselves!" and promptly died, not truly died. This is kind, he merely fainted out of mind. Salty gasped with feathered shock, his beak open like a lock. "Crackers!" was all that he could say. The treasure stole his words away. Wolfie's processors clicked and hummed, his calculations quickly numbed. Estimated value, calculation failure, too much money. Even Blackbeard ceased to grin. Even greed could not begin to measure all the wealth they saw spread from shore to distant shore. Then Captain Hook lowered his head. A look of sorrow crossed instead. Captain Jordan noticed there a sadness hidden in his stare. He'd seen this place before. Hook answered with a weary sigh. The anchors dropped. The ship stood still. The island waited by its will. Together then the crews came near. The lands that every pirate feared. For through the treasure gleamed and shone. The island felt somehow alone. No bird sang, no waves broke, no breeze stirred, no branch spoke. Even I became quite still, a silence born of ancient will. Then from the depths beneath the foam, something vast began to roam. The ocean boiled, the waters split, the moon itself seemed dimly lit. Tentacles rose from out the sea, great as mountains used to be, covered in chains, in weed, in scars, stretching upward toward the stars. One wrapped cliffs, one wrapped stone, one embraced treasure throne. Wolfie's eyes flashed bright with dread. His threat assessment quickly said, "Threat level, error." Never had his system born a thing so vast since he was born. Then from the sea there rose at last a nightmare from the ocean's past. Half pirate, half kraken, half storm. A shapeless sailor shook the hull. Tentacles writ where beard should grow. Green eyes glimmered far below. Barnacles covered coated skin. The sea itself moved within him. Blackbeard removed his hat with care. Hook removed his also there. Wolfie stepped behind a man. The pirate pigs held breakfast fast. Captain Jordan knew the name. Every sailor knew the same. Davy Jones, keeper of the curse, guardian of the sea's dark verse. He looked across the island shore, then toward the treasure, Nevermore, then toward the captain standing near. His voice emerged like grinding fear. Another generation, another group, convinced they could take it all. No answer came, none wished to call. Then Wolfie raised his metal hand. I would like to take all of it. Every chain upon the land rattled loud at that demand. Hook covered his face, Blackbeard groaned. Salty abandoned, a treasure throne. Davy Jones slowly turned. Wolfie's courage quickly burned. Or possibly not. The chains grew calm. Sea regained its ancient balm. Then Davy pointed through the trees toward the island's mysteries. The captains looked. At first saw none. Then realization slowly come. Skeletons, thousands, beyond all count, scattered across the treasure mound. Pirates, kings, admirals too, all frozen where temptation grew. Each held gold within his hand, each trapped forever on the land. Captain Jordan softly said, they never left. Hook bowed his head, his answer crossed the shore. They never did, and nothing more. Then Davy Jones spoke once again, a lesson older, farther than man. The treasure was not the curse, the chains were flying throughout the earth. The curse is wanting more. The words echoed from shore to shore. Then came whispers from the gold, promises of bright and bold. Crowns promised kingdoms, jewels promised power, coins promised fortune by the hour. Blackbeard heard of pirate fame, Wolfie heard limitless financial gain. The pigs heard bakeries, freshly baked pies, salty good crackers stacked to the sky. Captain Jordan heard old dreams, lost ambitions, forgotten themes. The whispers grew, the voices called, until the strongest nearly stopped. Then Davy pointed toward the sea. There remains one path to be free. Captain Jordan stepped ahead. What path remains, the captain said. Davy Jones answered quietly, a sentence simple as could be. Leave. Silence. Then once more. Leave everything upon this shore. The treasure screamed behind their backs. Gold poured freely from its stacks. Jewels sparkled. Crowns rolled near. The whispers sharpened into fear. Take one coin, one jewel, one chest. Surely one would not be best. Many sailors almost turned. One did, and quickly learned. He froze exactly where he stood. Not evil, not bad, not good. Simply trapped forevermore. Part of Treasure Island's shore. The captains walked, crews obeyed. Temptation screamed, yet none delayed. Long the journey back became, each step of battle with the same. Then Captain Jordan reached the waiting sea. The whispers ceased immediately. Blackbeard followed. Then Wolfie too, the pirate pigs, somehow came through. Salty arrived with sacks in tow. Captain Jordan simply glared. Salty sighed, returned them there. The curse was broken, the island sighed. The sea grew calm upon each tide. Across the shore, Davy Jones smiled, the first such smile in many a while. The kraken loosened every chain. The ocean settled once again. Then Davy spoke his final word, a lesson every captain heard. The treasure was never the curse. The fleet stood still, the sea rehearsed. Wanting it was. Then down he sank, back to the deep, back to the dark. Treasure Island faded slowly, swallowed by foe, old and holy. 4 great ships resumed their way. The danger passed, or so they Then I grew silent once again, for something stirred beyond all ken. Far upon the horizon's rim, there appeared a distant glimmer dim, not a star, not a mast, not a lighthouse from the past. Something moving, watching there, something ancient in the air. Blackbird saw, hooks looked in, Captain Jordan slowly knew. Whatever watched beyond the foam, a Davy Jones seemed close to home. What be that? The captain asked. Hook stared long at the distant mask. His face grew pale beneath the night, and softly answered at the sight. Something over Davy Jones. Blackbeard frowned, his voice like stones. Impossible! Hook gave reply. I wish it were. The light then vanished from the sky, as though it knew they watched it there, as though it answered with a stare. Wolfie scanners searched to see, no dark had found. Repeatedly, no ship found. Again they cried, no explanation, though they tried. Not truly tried, just failed once more, as Wolfie's scanners often bore. The sea grew still, darkness deep, the ancient secret kept its key. Then from above I spoke once more, a warning cry carried shore to shore. Some treasures hide monsters, that much is true. Yet monsters sometimes hide worlds too. And somewhere beyond the horizon's gleam awaits another, darker dream. Ask Raven, the richest sailor is not the one who claims all treasures beneath the sun. The richest sailor, as years unfold, knows when to leave behind the gold. Yet the voyage is not finished still, or beyond the seas where legends sleep. Beyond the dark and endless deep, something watched the captains there. Something ancient stirred the air. And what awaits beyond that light, we test them more than gold tonight. Tell me below, would ye have left the treasure behind, or taken just one